We are still in the solving quadratics unit. This part is to solve the equation by graphing. All we need to do is we need to round answers to the nearest hundredth if necessary, and remember, hundredth is 2 decimal places. Then state whether the quadratic is factorable or not based on its roots. Well, first of all, you know that I have a TI, a Texas Instruments calculator. So if you have an Inspire, you probably need to talk to your teacher about this if you don't remember how to find the roots of this. But as we start, we're going to go to y equals. We're going to type in our function. In this case, it's 5x squared plus 8x minus 13. And let's draw a picture. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. Here. And I know that we can't see the entire picture on here, but as I slide this over here into the smartboard for a second, what we're trying to figure out is what is this value? Whoops, the board's a little bit disoriented, but let's see if I can get it here. That value, and what is that value? We want to know what those two values are. So as I pull the calculator back up here on the screen, remember what the buttons are. We're going to go second and trace. That gets us up to the calculator function, the calculate function on our calculator. Then we're going to go to the 0 function. So you can arrow down to number 2, you can type in number 2, and it comes over here. And at the bottom of the screen, we've got the left bound, and I'm going to have to scroll for a little bit, but eventually I will see the cursor. I'm trying to use my left arrow. And remember, we need to make sure to go a little bit to the left. I'm going to stop there. You don't have to stop in that exact same place. Your numbers at the bottom of the screen don't have to be the same as mine. But I'm going to put my cursor there and I'm going to press enter. And then I'm going to go a little bit to the right. So I'm going to move my cursor to this point. I used my right arrow key that's highlighted in red on the screen. Press enter. And somewhere in between my two lines, which some calculators have the lines and some calculators don't, press enter. And we get this value here, which is negative 2.6. So I'm going to put the negative 2.6 here. But we have 2 places where this graph crosses the x-axis. So we're going to go through that process again. Second, trace, and then 0. And it's going to take me a few minutes to scroll, hopefully not a few minutes, but it's going to take me a little bit of time before I can see the cursor. There we go. And I think I'm going to stop there. That's to the left. If you look down at the bottom of the screen, you see left, and enter. And then we're going to go here to the right somewhere, and enter. And then a third, enter. And it gives us this value of 1, 0. I think when we did these problems in class, what I said is well, x equals negative 2.6 and x equals 1, which is true. And the question is, can we factor that? And what I have always said is, did you get a big long decimal in there? And we didn't get a big long decimal. Can you rewrite negative 2.6 as a fraction? And the answer is yes, and 1 is an integer. It's a whole number. So yes, we can factor that one. As we try it one more time, we're going to go back to y equals, going to clear that out, and we're going to type in our second function here, which is 2x squared plus 4x minus 9. Hit graph. And again, we don't have to be able to see the whole picture, but what we do need to be able to see is where does the graph cross the x-axis, because that's what we're looking for when we solve this. That's the solutions are x-intercepts, and once again, what we're looking for is what is this value, and what is that value there. So I'll pull the screen back up. We're going to go second, trace, and 0. And then I'm going to scroll. A little bit to the left, enter. A little bit to the right, enter. And enter. And we get this value. Watch out over here to the right. We have -1e to the -12. All that means is it means 0.000000000. Let me count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's what it means. That number right there, which for all intents and purposes is 0. And what we really want to look at when we're dealing with these problems is we want to look at this number here to the left, x equals -3.345. We're going to look at the 5 here, and the board's disoriented. I'm sorry about that. But we're going to look at the 5. Oh my gosh. Look at the 5. To determine what we're going to round that 4 to. But because this number 5 is 5 or higher, our first 0 is going to be -3.34. But I also want to point out, when we go back and look at this, because it's going to go away here, that -3.345208, that's a pretty big long decimal. So we've got a strong inclination that we can't factor. But let's find our other root. So we're going to do that process all over again. Second, trace, 0. I'm going a little bit to the left. I'm going to stop there. You don't have to be in the exact same place as me. It's somewhere close to where the graph crosses the x-axis. Enter. Enter again. We went to the right. Somewhere close to where the graph crosses the x-axis. And then hit enter one more time. And we get this number here at the bottom of our screen, 1.345. Again, I still can't, a little bit better maybe. Looking at the 5 to determine what to do to the 4, and I'm really sorry. It's just not working for me here. But we looked at that, and what we end up with here, again, not helping myself very much, am I? Sorry, I can't fix it. But we get 1.345, means that our other value is going to be 1.35. And I want to go back and look at that first point again, because I think I may have written down wrong. In fact, on my paper, let's see what happens here. Second, trace, and 0, number 2, and then we scroll. A little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, and enter. And I should have. It was -3.345, and I said it, but I didn't do it. Our point needs to be -3.35 when we round, because it's 5 or higher.